Vescera.
And welcome to the FAL Consulting Podcast, your number one source for educational crypto content. Today is Monday, October 18th, 2021, and on today's show, we'll be going over the top 10 cryptos for the day, as well as Flow integrates Filecoin storage services to make NFTs more decentralized. Bitcoin pops on expectation of Bitcoin futures ETF approval by SEC, and Mexico is no follower, does not intend to adopt Bitcoin as legal tender. All that and more on today's FAL Podcast. But before we go any further, Mike, is anything the listeners hear on this podcast financial advice?
Are the Giants good?
No, not for the past 5 years. I believe there's records like 30 and 70 or something.
Yeah, something like that. They're really bad. Actually, the Jets lost yesterday too. No, the Jets had a bye week this week, but we have the same record over like the last 4 or 5 years. It's like 19-50.
That's just...
Well, maybe
sad.
It might even be worse, but it was something like that. But yeah, so definitely not financial advice because the Giants definitely are not good.
Very true. And I'd ask you how your weekend went, but I know how your weekend went. But how let the listeners know how your weekend went.
Nah, it was still fine, honestly. It was fun. We got there like 10 o'clock to the parking lot, tailgated a little bit. You know, it was a struggle setting up the grill because nobody knew how to set up the grill, but apparently it's all right. Chefed it up a little bit. I was the grill master for the day.
That's not bad. At least you had a good time before the game.
Yeah, that's a fact. And even after the game, too. After the game was miserable because it took like an hour and a half to get back.
Even though you left in the third?
Yeah, everybody left in the third.
That's what it seemed like.
Yeah, at the end, by the time we got to our car, they might have started the fourth quarter, but the game was already over. We were just trying to get out of there. So was everybody else. Yeah, the park, it gets backed up. Getting out of the stadium. Always at MetLife.
If you didn't know, we're Giants fans here, and Mike and Jeff went to a Giants game yesterday, and by the third quarter, they were losing 38-3. So I could tell you.
I got to see one of my favorite players all time, Matt Stafford, so it wasn't too bad.
That's true. But moving on from the miserable Giants, let's get into a little bit more exciting news. Giants actually know a little bit about crypto because they have a partnership with Grayscale. But this story isn't about Grayscale, it's about Flow. What's Flow doing?
Flow is integrating Filecoin for their storage services. On October 13th, this was announced. So now Flow users, which is Dapper Labs, will be able to mint NFTs and leverage IPFS, which is like pretty much a storage metadata type of thing, you know? So this is going to make the NFTs that are made on Flow's blockchain more decentralized because they're being hosted on Filecoin servers, which are different servers all around the world, wherever it may be. They're all accessible.
Yeah, Filecoin's made up, the blockchain's made up by a bunch of different computers using excess space on their hard drives so that people can allocate that, kind of like a decentralized Google Drive in a way.
Yeah, so instead of everything staying on Flow's servers in one technically centralized server, now it makes it slightly more decentralized, which also is like one of the core values, I guess you would say, for NFTs, crypto in general, maybe.
It's the first NFT I've seen using the IFPS system that I can know of. It's a pretty cool system. I know Decrypt used it a good amount for like journalistic integrity purposes. Like if they miss a comma and they update the article, you can go back and see that.
See the updates.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there was another couple NFT projects. I think Jeff said something about they were using it, but this is the first like major one that I've seen.
Yeah, and Flow's been pretty big through, starting NBA Top Shots. They obviously made CryptoKitties. Now they're working with the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
We reported on that a couple of weeks ago. NFTs, they keep evolving. They keep changing. There's always new aspects to them that keep coming in. So it'll be interesting to see what Flow continues to do within the space.
Yeah, it definitely will be.
They've already been a leader.
Yeah, especially after what they did with Top Shots. You want to see what they do with the NFL. They still haven't made like any, I guess, official announcement what their plan is, but they'd be the one. Yeah, that is. They're already going into week 7 next week. It's moving quick, as Mike Francesa would say. Can't believe it's already week 7.
That's true.
Every week you can't believe what week it is.
It's because every week you have a little bit of hope that maybe your team will win.
Week 9 here in the NFL. Can't believe it. It's moving fast.
Week 550 in crypto.
Someone's going to make NFTs of Mike Francesa's best shows.
The radio, you're going to have the radio.com app going to come back with Mike Francesa NFTs.
Jeff was also showing me this morning, too. This guy made a patent for a wristband thing. Kind of looks like the the ones that show you just like your heart rate, not like the Apple Watch is just like one of those band things.
Yeah, like biometrics.
Yeah, and it projects out a little AR video, whatever you want to call it, AR thing of your NFT.
Oh, that's
yeah.
cool.
So the guy's it's waiting for approval on the patent pending. I don't know how far along.
Kind of like
they
a
are
hologram.
Yeah,
Off of your watch of the NFT. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So I was thinking maybe make like a blockchain NFT game that you got them on like a fucking Digimon thing. You have them playing each other in the AR VR world.
Or you have like
well, not even in the AR VR world. In the AR, you just see it right in front of you, pretty much off of those watches.
Or an NFT Tamagotchi. Eventually, you got to take care of it. You got to make sure it's fed. And
Yeah.
I don't know what you would feed it, but you make a certain currency, secret love potion or something. It'd be cool, actually. I never thought of that.
Yeah, like Pokemon Go. You meet up with another trainer, like if we just seen each other in the park, and then you have them fight off the watch.
I think that'd be really interesting. I hadn't seen that, so I definitely have to look that up. That's not Dapper Labs that's doing that, though.
No, it's just a different NFT thing. I saw Jeff had showed me this morning.
That sounds pretty cool. I'm definitely going to have to look that up. Speaking of big news, though, Bitcoin's been popping up ever since that SEC rumor that the approval is going to come out. It's not officially announced. We are on the Monday. The story came out on Friday. I haven't heard anything just yet, right?
Well, on Monday, today's Monday. On tomorrow, it's the ProShares ETF is officially launching on the New York Stock Exchange.
Oh, okay. So it was officially announced.
Yeah, well, they just announced that this morning that it was like they're officially launching it tomorrow on the stock exchange. On Friday, it was Valkyrie got approval for their ETF. Like it's going to be launched. They just haven't put an exact date yet. But that one's going to be launched through the NASDAQ.
That's awesome. Why would this announcement be pretty big if people don't understand what ETF means for crypto?
So ETF is just an exchange-traded fund, or exchange-traded product. So it basically mimics the price of the actual asset. So that's why ETFs are popular. You don't have to exactly have direct exposure to that one thing, but it gives you a piece of it in a contract, pretty much. So why it's big for crypto is now it gives all the retail investors that are in the regular market that may not want to move over to Coinbase, Kraken, might not even know about those exchanges to get crypto on, or just feel like these exchanges could be shady, but they want more exposure to their portfolios of different things. This would give them a way to stay with their current broker, TD, JP Morgan, whoever it is, and be able to get some exposure in their portfolios to crypto.
Yeah, it's similar to how the SPF 500 works. Or there's people who want to invest in...
That's a lot of SPF.
There's a lot of SPF.
I know what you're saying. I was like,
SNP, my bad.
Yeah.
S&P 500, not SPF.
You're never getting a tan.
Never getting a tan. You're never getting any melanin in the skin with SPF 500. I'm also going to get some skin cancer too, more than likely.
Probably.
But it is similar to the S&P 500, where that's just a fund made up of a bunch of different top stocks within the regular stock market, and it's obviously brought a bunch of investments into the regular stock market. People have been waiting for a similar instrument within crypto so that they won't, like Mike said, get as exposed.
Yeah, no, I was going to say just because it was pretty much what you were saying too, is that's why it's not directly pegged to the price of Bitcoin, because SEC, I guess they were trying to be like, helpful for people or whatever, because the price of Bitcoin or Ethereum is too volatile. They say it's too much of a risk. So it's pegged to the futures contracts, which is less volatile. The futures contract is just, it could be this price in a couple months instead of it's 30,000 today, 60,000 a day later type of volatility,
Which is great. We're always saying the volatility helps people gain wealth that was unobtainable before, but it's also not great if you're buying in at 60 thinking you're going to obtain the wealth that the person who bought in at 30 did and sold at 60, and you're going to do the same at 120, but now you bought it at 60, and now here we're back at 29, and you're upset.
So that's why it took so long for the SEC to approve it. It was just because some of these places or companies were trying to do it to the direct asset itself, and the SEC is, no, it's too risky, I guess, for the people. They don't know if that type of exposure is a good thing for them. But that's why the futures contract ones kind of just came up over the last month as that being an alternative way to get an ETF approved. And and it worked.
That's also why Bitcoin has been driving up over the weekend, and I actually skipped the top 10. We did it again. Went straight into the news stories, but we can slide into the top 10 now if that's all we have to say about the ETFs.
Yeah, I didn't actually. What's their names? Grayscale is trying to convert the Bitcoin trust into a some type of ETF. I forget what exactly it was that they were trying to do with it, but they're trying to convert that trust that they already have opened into a type of ETF.
Yeah, I remember that being announced.
Yeah, I just saw that earlier too. So they could be just, I don't know, changing something around in the structure of it.
Yeah, I don't remember exactly why, but I know that Grayscale's, their fund is a little bit more trickier to get into.
You have to have like $1 million anyway just to get into it.
And then to sell it, there's only certain times within the contract that you're able to sell it. I believe that a couple months ago, we had someone that we were consulting with that had a Grayscale fund, and they were asking like why they couldn't sell it because they thought it was the same thing with Bitcoin. I didn't know at the time, but when we look into it, it seemed like there was contracted times when you could actually pull it out, which isn't as good as Bitcoin, where you can just pull it out wherever and you have it. And that's the other side of it, as well. Like if you're going to get invested into the ETF, it's not the same as investing directly into Bitcoin. You do not directly hold the coins as you do with some exchanges. But the volatility aspect is also another thing where you feel a little bit more safer being able to invest in it. So it's up to you, me personally, us personally here at FAL. We all like to hold our coins ourselves just in case for future endeavors where the government could potentially say that you don't actually hold a coin and Coinbase needs to seize it in some way.
Yeah. Or you have like a Robin Hood situation. Shut it down.
Exactly.
I don't know, what am I supposed to do?
Nothing, but if you hold it, you're holding your own coins, you can actually do something. But moving on from the Bitcoin ETF, let's see what Bitcoin's price is at. Usually do this at the top of the show. Ended up forgetting about it. We're so excited to talk about how bad the Giants were that we didn't remember the top 10 cryptos for the day.
Yeah, bro, we had to let you guys know it's not financial advice.
To let you guys know that John Mayer is the worst. But at number one, we have Bitcoin at $60,102, up 2.22% for the day. At number two, we have Ethereum at $3,773, down 0.44% for the day. At number three, we have Binance Coin at $479, down up 3.11% for the day. At number four, we have Cardano at $2, up down 1.05% for the day. At number five, we have Tether. At number six, we have XRP at $1.09, down 2.57% for the day. At number seven, we have a Solana at $157.13, down 2.22% for the day. At number eight, we have Polkadot at $41.22, up 0.02% for the day. At number nine, we have Dogecoin at 25 cents, up 8% for the day. And number 10, we have USDC. So pretty interesting. As you can see, we're in the $62,000 mark. We're about $2,500 away from an all-time high. It's pretty exciting. I've been trying to keep my excitement a little lower, hidden, because we have been here in May and different times like that. And we've said 100,000, 75,000, things of that nature through our research. But as of right now, I'm feeling fairly good about the market. I don't see any FUD other than China coming out and saying that they're the ones who created crypto. Me and Joe talked about that yesterday.
Yeah, China, they created the world.
I don't know what would happen then. But other than that, I don't see anything obscuring the price movement that we're currently following. And on-chain metrics, if they're correct, then we're going to be seeing some significant prices.
Yeah, you'd have to have, I don't know, some pretty big news. Like if they recalled approving the ETFs or something, maybe that causes a market downturn. But you never know. No. Germany could, I don't know, do something. Any country could do something, say something, cause something to happen.
No, 100%. You never know. You never know with crypto. That's why we always say this is educational advice. But through our educational research, my own educational research, if the predictions are true, if the prophecy is foretold, then ETFs get approved and a lot of bigger players are able to move and enter into the market. And if this weekend and Monday are any insight, then tomorrow when the actual approval goes through, we could see some pretty big numbers. But it'll be interesting throughout the week to see, because I don't want to say anything, because I've definitely been here before and been like, oh, this is really good. And then who knows? Jeanette Yellen could be dying tomorrow and be like,
if she died, the market would pump.
I don't know. I'm just joking at this point. I'm just saying I like where the market's moving right now. Currently, we're not in where we were when we first started the podcast. For sure.
Yeah, definitely.
Someone who's not smoking a pot, smoking a dot, or doing anything with crypto.
Smoke a thought in Mexico.
Is smoke a thought in Mexico? No, definitely not. Because the president of Mexico, Andres Manuel Lopez Obrador, I'm Spanish. I should know how to say that, but I can't read that. has announced that Mexico will not be following El Salvador's lead with accepting Bitcoin as a legal tender. In a press conference held yesterday, the president put a nail in the crypto coffin by stating, "We are not going to change in that aspect. We think that we must maintain orthodoxy in the management of finances and try not to innovate much in financial management." Further elaborating that the country instead would adopt stronger tax evasion monitors. "We want to make sure that there are no privileges, that everyone contributes with their taxes, and that is enough." He said. While Mr. Obrador sees no need for Bitcoin adoption, the third richest man in the country, Richard Salinas Peligro, does, revealing last year that Bitcoin made up about 10% of his liquid portfolio, as well as his bank, Banco Azteca, looking at a route to adopt the coin. It's not hard to see why President Andres is taking the stance for his country. The stories coming out of El Salvador, while revolutionary, have not been the most flattering for their dictator and still leave many with unanswered questions. Let's just hope that this stance isn't one that holds, leading to Mexico lagging behind the rest of Latin America, which seems to be gearing up to be the hotspot for adoption within the next few years.
Yeah, I think that it's not a bad idea that they didn't do it. I feel like they're more advanced. They're definitely a more advanced country than El Salvador. I feel like just because El Salvador was kind of created out of nowhere.
Yeah, and their GB.
All countries are kind of created out of nowhere, but not many countries were bought by a rich person for their son.
That's true. Not many countries also get donated a bunch of Bitcoin as an experiment from some rich crypto whale.
Yeah, that's why. I mean, it doesn't really matter too much, I guess, for Mexico. The only thing, I don't know, they want to do more with stronger tax evasion monitors. I don't know about that, because the cartel, I don't think is going to let that happen.
Yeah, that's one thing I wanted to bring up about this story. For as much as like you want to be regulating crypto and you want to make sure money, like your country's definitely cleaning a lot of money through regular financial money.
Yeah, like the third richest guy in Mexico.
Mm-hmm. Richard Salinas, yes.
Yeah. He's got 10% of his liquid portfolio. What about the non-liquid portfolio that's in Monero on the side there?
Yeah, it's not in this article. Decrypt was not able to get in that information.
I don't know. I think it's definitely maybe like more in the future for certain countries, but I think instead of on top of making Bitcoin legal tender, they'd be more focused on getting a central bank digital currency out instead.
Yeah, honestly, that's probably the better route. It's more lucrative for the country.
Yeah, at least to start. And then for the people, too, it might even... Yeah, it's definitely more lucrative for the country because now every transaction is recorded. But for the people, too, they would make more sense, I feel like, for them. Like they swipe their credit card every day to spend pesos. It's the same thing, pretty much.
100%. It's easier to integrate, I believe, within law, more than likely. Easier to get people to accept it if you call it, a Mexico coin or, whatever, something that's good for the culture. Especially if it's made for the benefits of the country. If it's not like we're going to adopt this thing because it's going to lead to us becoming significantly richer, which is what some say is happening over in El Salvador. And like you said earlier, Mexico has bigger problems than Bitcoin. Like they have a whole cartel basically running their government. They have more assassinations of politicians every year than I don't even know Bitcoin transactions.
Monero runs deep in Mexico. That's why.
But it's a stance that, like I said in the last paragraph of my article, I don't believe they'll hold for long, and I hope they don't hold it for long because, Latin America is gearing up to be one of the hot spots for adoption within the next few years, especially with El Salvador. For as much as you could say that El Salvador has problems and stuff, there will be countries adopting that, seeing the lead that they took and maybe making their own CBDC or doing something differently. But until, I guess, Mexico can get some of its other problems in order, I could see why they wouldn't want to necessarily adopt it. It'll be interesting to see what Ricardo Salinas, the third richest man in Mexico, does in response to this, since he owns Banco Azteca, which is one of the biggest Latin American banks. And, he already says that he wants his bank to be able to adopt Bitcoin, so it won't need any government approval for that, from what I believe. So, it'll be interesting to see how he takes it and where the country goes with it for these next couple of years, because now the ETFs are being approved here in America. It's going to be even faster amount of time between adoption of other countries, I feel like.
Yeah, because we weren't quick to adopt ETFs either. Canada, Brazil, Germany put them out months ago.
Hearing stories about ETFs for months and when is Bitcoin's ETF going to get approved? Even back in May, when things are going up, all these questions are being asked. But it's finally good to feel like we got some positive stories here. Bitcoin's on the up and up. We could come back later on in the week and it could be, down, but we'll still be here with the positive news because at the end of the day, it's
China has banned crypto again. This time they say Ethereum's the issue.
China's going to nuke Taiwan with Bitcoin.
China says Solana is gold. Oh my God. They'll be back in Solana.
I don't know. One day we should just do a parody podcast on April Fools, just reporting a bunch of
nonsense.
Do it like the Mike Princesa guy. Like, here we are from the CCP headquarters.
Okay.
My guy.
Bitcoin is going to the moon. Okay.
CZ Binance, the best ever.
Me and CZ Binance are good friends. We actually met at the World Cup a couple years ago. We sat next to each other in our box seats.
I'm going to actually decentralize this whole station. But all right, moving on. Seems like it's about the end of the podcast. We come to the end. Anything else you want to say to Mr. Manuel Lopez Obrador?
Nah, bro, keep doing your thing. Work on staying alive out there.
That's a fact.
Being a politician.
Just work on making sure you see tomorrow. Because,
don't go too strong on those tax evasion laws.
Yeah, how many? That's not even. Let me not even get into that. With that, thank you for being here, Mike.
Absolutely, always a pleasure.
Always. Thank you guys for tuning in. You can follow me on Twitter at @crypto_Lajara. That's crypto_LAJARA. You can follow Mike at Scuba Scungili. That's SCUBA SCUNGILLI. You can follow the official FAL Crypto Consultants Twitter over at CryptoFAL. That's CryptoFAL. FAL is a one-stop shop for all your cryptocurrency needs, from answering questions for new people to bigger institutional clients. We're there for you. Regardless if you're a small business or bank, we'll make sure to take a tailored approach to all your needs. Our team houses specialists in all areas of cryptocurrency, from mining, trading, creating NFTs, DAOs, staking, and lending questions to general market research. Go to cryptofile.com to learn more. Have a great day, everybody.